summer gently fades and fall begins to whisper through the air, it's the perfect time to transition your home decor. This change doesn't have to be abrupt or overwhelming. It can be subtle, intentional, and full of charm. Today, I'm sharing vintage-inspired decorating tips to help you gracefully move from the breezy brightness of summer to the cozy richness of fall. Whether you're a collector of timeless pieces or simply love a nostalgic feel, these tips will help you create a home that reflects both warmth and personality. The first step in transitioning your decor is adjusting the mood. Summer tends to be light, airy, and playful. Think crisp linens and beachy accents. As we shift toward fall, aim to introduce a mood that feels grounding, cozy, and nostalgic. This doesn't mean replacing everything, but rather rethinking your palette and vibe. Consider vintage pieces with rich patinas, aged wood, or faded textiles that tell a story. Lighting is also key. Swap out bright whites for warmer toned bulbs to instantly shift the atmosphere. Color plays a huge role in seasonal decorating. While summer is often filled with fresh blues, whites, and sunny yellows, fall brings a palette of deep rusts, mustard golds, olive greens, and warm browns. Begin incorporating these colors slowly. Vintage decor is perfect for this. Try amber glass bottles, sepia-toned prints, or aged copper accents. Even a faded gingham or plaid fabric in fall hues can transition a space beautifully. Layering in these tones bit by bit creates a cohesive flow from one season to the next. Fall invites texture. As you move away from the breezy cottons of summer, consider layering heavier fabrics and materials into your decor. Add vintage wool throws, quilted pillows, or even crocheted doilies with a warm touch. Think of burlap, flannel, tweed, or velvet, all timeless and full of character. The goal isn't to weigh the room down, but to add visual and tactile depth. A cozy armchair with a vintage plaid blanket draped over it? Instant fall charm with that nostalgic touch we all love. Vintage linens are the unsung heroes of transitional decor. Start by switching out lightweight tablecloths and runners for thicker, richer ones. Look for old embroidered pieces in fall tones or faded floral patterns that speak to the changing seasons. Drape vintage napkins over baskets, line shelves, or use them as soft accent pieces on dressers and consoles. Incorporating these elements brings a lived-in, time-worn beauty that enhances your space's warmth and authenticity as summer fades into fall. If you love antiquing, now is the time to pull out or hunt for pieces that reflect fall. Think of old apothecary jars, brass candlesticks, ceramic crocks, and distressed wooden crates. These vintage treasures add a rustic elegance and natural warmth to any space. Display them with purpose, group items of varying heights together for balance, or create vignettes on mantels and shelves. Let the imperfections and aged patina of your vintage decor pieces become the centerpiece of your fall transition. Decorating for fall doesn't always require buying new items. Nature provides the best seasonal decor. Pair vintage containers like enamel pitchers, copper pots, or tin buckets with dried florals, wheat bundles, or branches with turning leaves. These arrangements nod to the harvest season and bring outdoor elements in. Display your finds on antique sideboards, vintage kitchen islands, or in classic wooden trays. This connection to nature feels authentic and grounded, perfectly suited to a smooth seasonal transition. Books are more than just for reading. They're a fantastic vintage decor element, especially during the summer to fall transition. Stack weathered books with sepia-toned covers, tie them with twine, or leave pages gently opened under an old magnifying glass. Add vintage postcards, botanical prints, or pressed leaves in brass frames for even more character. These subtle details add layers of nostalgia and storytelling that embody the reflective nature of fall. It's like creating your own little library of seasons past. Art is one of the most emotionally resonant ways to reflect seasonal shifts. Search your local thrift stores or flea markets for vintage paintings or prints featuring fall landscapes, still lives with fruit or pumpkins, or pastoral scenes. Even a faded frame or aged matting can evoke warmth and seasonal elegance. Lean or hang these art pieces in your entryway, above your fireplace, or layered with mirrors and clocks on gallery walls. Their moody charm will anchor your autumn aesthetic effortlessly. The entryway sets the tone for your home, and it's a great place to begin your summer to fall transition. Swap out light woven mats for vintage-style rugs in warm hues. Add an antique bench with a plaid cushion or an old coat rack styled with a wool scarf and vintage umbrella. Small accents like a rustic basket for mail or an amber glass lamp can signal a subtle seasonal shift. Let the space gently whisper that fall is on its way. Fall is all about comfort and slowing down. Turn overlooked areas into cozy corners using vintage chairs, candlelight, and soft textiles. Tuck a faded quilt over the arm of an old rocker, place a stack of worn books on a distressed side table, and add a flickering lantern. These moments throughout your home create intimate, seasonal vignettes that feel both curated and comforting. Don't forget a vintage mug ready for cider or cocoa, because ambience is in the details. Vintage candle holders, hurricane lanterns, and brass sconces are perfect for layering warmth into your fall decor. Replace citrus or floral scents with spiced apple, clove, or sandalwood to enhance the autumn mood. Cluster taper candles in mismatched holders for an old-world effect, or set them inside vintage lanterns on your porch. The flicker of candlelight not only adds romance but also beautifully complements the aging daylight of fall evenings. Don't toss your summer centerpieces, just rework them. Keep the structure but swap out summer blooms for dried hydrangeas, eucalyptus, or berries. Replace beachy accessories with seasonal ones like pine cones, acorns, or antique fruit-shaped ceramics. Tuck in brass utensils, vintage salt shakers, or antique trivets for charm. This method of transforming what you already own allows for an easy, budget-friendly shift while maintaining your signature vintage style. The kitchen is the heart of the home, and fall is when it truly shines. Bring in copper cookware, vintage pie tins, or heirloom mixing bowls as decor pieces. Layer dish towels with muted checks or autumn prints. Fill an old crock with wooden utensils, display apple baskets, or style a simple vignette with canned preserves and dried herbs. These subtle additions help the kitchen transition seamlessly into a space that feels harvest-ready and nostalgically homey. Nothing says seasonal transition like a wreath. Opt for one made of dried florals, wheat, or old book pages for a vintage twist. Hang it on your door or layer it on a vintage mirror indoors. You can also use wooden frames, rustic signs, or vintage tools like rakes and washboards as fall wall decor. These nods to a bygone era feel authentic and charming, especially when mixed with your own personal style. Your bedroom deserves a seasonal update too. Replace lightweight sheets with flannel or cotton blends in deeper hues. Add a crocheted bedspread, vintage quilt, or plaid throw. Update your bedside table with an antique lamp, a stack of old books, and a ceramic dish for trinkets. A warm rug underfoot, some dried flowers in a glass bottle, and a flickering candle can turn your bedroom into the coziest space in the house. Fabric is one of the easiest vintage elements to integrate. Visit thrift shops for old curtains, tablecloths, or bed linens in fall colors. Repurpose them into pillow covers, shelf liners, or table runners. Even worn pieces have charm when used creatively. Soft textures and faded floral or plaid patterns bring both seasonality and vintage appeal. Think of it as upcycling with purpose, while adding timeless style to your home. Summer lighting tends to be brighter and more natural, while fall calls for warmth and ambience. Start by swapping bright bulbs with soft amber ones. Bring out vintage lamps with fabric shades, lanterns with flickering candles, and twinkle lights woven through baskets or old wire frames. Layered lighting can make even the most ordinary space feel magical. Focus on corners, tabletops, and walls where soft light can glow against your vintage treasures. If you have the space, set up a harvest-themed table using thrifted or vintage finds. Mix and match plates, layer in cloth napkins, and add small gourds or fruit in antique bowls. Use brass candlesticks or a simple garland of dried leaves to elevate the mood. This can be a dining table, entryway table, or even a console. It's less about formality and more about celebration. The beauty of vintage decor is how effortlessly it tells a story. Fall often brings out nostalgia, so embrace that feeling with decor that has personal meaning. Use your grandmother's pie plate, your dad's old flannel shirt turned into a pillow, or letters from a loved one framed on the wall. Blending sentimental vintage pieces with seasonal charm creates a deeper connection in your home. It's not just about style, it's about soul. That's the essence of a smooth seasonal transition. Even the bathroom can benefit from seasonal updates. Switch out lightweight summer hand towels for thicker, embroidered ones in warm colors. Use amber glass jars for storage, add a vintage mirror, and bring in dried florals in small vases. A candle with a comforting scent and an old wooden stool or tray can add rustic beauty. Small touches here can make a big impact when creating a cohesive home for fall. Floating shelves or built-ins are prime real estate for seasonal styling. Rotate summer decor with curated vintage items. Old books, amber vases, antique clocks, and brass frames. Add tiny pumpkins, dried seed pods, or mini hay bundles to reinforce the season. Balance is key. Use varying heights, textures, and tones to keep the display from feeling cluttered. A few carefully placed vintage pieces can make your shelves feel like a museum of autumn charm. Don't forget your porch or garden area. Add hay bales, vintage watering cans, or old wooden ladders draped with fall garland. Replace summer florals with mums or marigolds in rusted metal containers. Use vintage signs, a cozy quilt on a rocking chair, or even antique boots filled with dried grasses for a whimsical touch. The goal is to create a welcoming exterior that mirrors the warmth you've curated inside. Transitioning your home doesn't have to happen overnight. In fact, vintage decorating thrives in slow layering. Let your style evolve through the weeks. As the leaves change, bring out more pieces. Use what you already have in new ways. Decorate intuitively and allow your space to reflect the rhythm of nature. That's the beauty of vintage style. It's never rushed, always timeless, and filled with stories waiting to be told. Transitioning from summer to fall with vintage decor is all about capturing that beautiful in-between moment, a blend of light and warmth, past and present. With a few thoughtful changes, layers of texture, and cherished pieces, your home can tell a story of seasonal grace. Let the faded linens, aged wood, An amber glow wrap your space in nostalgia and comfort. As the air cools and the days shorten, may your home become the cozy retreat your heart longs for.